Yo, what is up, guys? Coach Kobo here for the first time, and I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience at One Piece Dallas. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Coach Kobo. I go by Yamil, and I went to One Piece Dallas for the card game celebration, and I went to the pre-regionals there this past weekend, and I fully enjoyed the immersive experience that I was presented with. Now, I will say that One Piece Dallas is my first regional that I've ever attended in any card game. I feel like before this experience, I wasn't really nuanced in what a regional was, what it looked like, what I expect out of it, outside of the fact that I knew, hey, you make X amount of wins, you could possibly win a prize card, right? So for me, this was a great experience to kind of just like see where I was in the community, see what I wanted to do in this community. And I loved it. I absolutely loved the experience of One Piece Dallas. Now, I will say, not everyone's experience was that, but from a competitor standpoint, that's exactly what happened to me. So I'll tell you a little bit of a story of what One Piece Dallas brought for me. It brought me change, it brought me motivation. It made me want to become a content creator. I have previously done content for the NBA 2K franchise about 3 years ago. You could probably look me up on YouTube still. And I used to like that. And it was cool. But I never found passion in a game until this past weekend that I did with One Piece. I was in the regional event for Saturday, so I was in the main event for Saturday in Pod B, which was a stacked pod, by the way, if you guys don't know. And I got waitlisted. I had to go on the wait list for Sunday to participate in that main event. So we'll talk about that. Like, the main event itself was amazing. The waitlist product, event management, and all that stuff, unfortunately, was poorly executed. I didn't feel the effects of that most of the time, outside of the waitlist, that I'll talk about that story in a little bit, because of the fact that I was competing all day. I didn't care about going to get product. I didn't care about going to sit down most of the day, because I was sitting down because I was competing. And that's basically my experience of it. I didn't know what to expect going in. I had no expectations going in. So I feel like that mindset allowed me to not feel as like, oh, this is terrible, this is not great, this could be done better, because I had no expectations. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, and again, if you're here and watching this video at this point, you probably do know what Dallas is, right? This was a celebration. Kind of just wanted to highlight what it looked like, right? It was at the Exhibition Fair Park Central Hall. We could look at the event schedule, right? So we could see what it looked like. So this was the check-in process. So I traveled to Dallas on Friday afternoon, and Dallas was great, but the Ubers were fucking expensive, I will say that. So I checked in early, and that allowed us to get the pass, the giveaway bag, the early check-in reward, which was another, I believe it was, let me see if it's down here. It's like another regional pack. Not a regional pack, it's like an event pack. So you got another event pack in order to for checking in early, which was really cool. And we wanted to check in early because we were just like, we don't want to worry about this when we get to Saturday's main event, right? So we did that. Me and my boy Eris did that. And so here are the giveaways. You got the swag bag. So I have mine like hung up somewhere at the chopper hat. This is already decorative in my room. We got these promo cards. And bro, let me tell you about these promo cards. This Luffy, this Zoro, and this Audiodon. Really cool. They're beautiful cards. People were selling these for a egregious amount of money. I seen the packs themselves, like, so this was a 3-card promo pack. I seen the cards themselves go for like $100 each. So like this Luffy was going for like $100, and like, again, beautiful card. Like, trust me, beautiful card. I had it in person. This card was going for like $80. And then this freaking Audiodon, because people think that it's only ever going to be printed here in Dallas, but there's not a stamp, so people have been saying this is probably going to be added somewhere else, right? Has been selling short of like $200 to $300 per don. I was offered $60 at the venue that same day, or the next day when I went in the main event, to get rid of the Audiodon, and I did it in an instant, right? And then I also sold the Zoro and the Luffy for $100, so I made $160 just off my promo packs. And again, I didn't know the comp of what the prices were at the time, So did I lose money? Sure. But if I don't sell it, I don't gain any money, right? So I made a quick 160 off this. And it basically paid for my entry for my wait list. It paid for some food. It paid for some Ubers. Like, this was fine. This was great. So I had no problems with that. But the reselling in like venues and conventions, bro, it really has to stop. One other thing that I want to mention real quick is that, oh my God, where is it? The available product, bro. Product at Dallas was insane again. Like, there was very poor communication, and I will say I was interested in getting product, but it was not my priority. I was just like, if I get product, great. If not, not a big deal, right? So I really wanted this illustration box because as a Lucci player, that's what I played for my main event both days, Saturday and Sunday. I really wanted this alternate art Lucci Don, or not Don, character, and it was 20 bucks, right? People were selling their illustration boxes at the venue for $200+. Heck, if I go on eBay right now, bro, let's go on eBay and like, I'm gonna do this live, Rob Lucci illustration box. I looked this up on my phone earlier today, right? And look at the sales, the prices on this, right? Like $100. And if I go to search advanced, right? Look for completed items. Where is it? I do this on my phone all the time, so I don't know how to do this on my freaking computer. This kind of sucks. Okay, completed and sold items, right? So if I go to completed and sold items and I search this, right? So this is actually gotten better since I saw it this morning. This is like 54 bucks, 50 bucks. That's not bad. That's actually really not bad. I will take back 40 bucks. That's not bad. I will take back what I said. But earlier today, this is the price that I was seeing, $95. $99, so $100 for a freaking one alt that is literally only used in Rob Lucci, right? Look at this. Someone sold their illustration box for $150 and it's sold. This is the Japanese version, so that don't matter. These are Japanese's. But yeah, people were selling these for $100. And again, by all means, you got there, you made the line, you did everything, you deserve it, right? But for a freaking alt, bro, the alt is more expensive than the SP. And I don't like the SP, but I will learn to like the SP for that price, bro. Like, it's honestly, like, it's so disheartening when you look at something like this, because like obviously there's resellers in every single game, but yeah, like the product stuff was a shit show. So like if you went for product, cool, right? But yeah, that was my experience with it. I didn't get any product. I didn't get anything for MSRP. I competed both days, and that was that, right? Okay, cool. So day one, I went to the event and I finished the day going X4. What that means is that I won 5, lost 4 in a 9-round Swiss tournament, right? Great. I ended up bubbling into top 128, being literally number 128. So like that was kind of crazy. I didn't have any expectations of how I would perform. And to be in top 128, that was great because I got to get that second tier of pricing where, is this it? Yeah, should be it. Okay, so the tier pricing for this, right? Come on. Here we go. The tier pricing for this, right, was participation. You get your regional pack, you get your event pack, and you get 6 OP packs. We got OP 9, so that was great. Most of the pods were up to 512 players, so you can only get this if there's over 1024, so that doesn't happen. So the first tier pricing is top 256, right? So you get another event pack if you top 256, which is pretty easy. Like you just gotta go like positive on your games for the day for the most part, right? Top 128, which I didn't know was a cutoff, is that second tier pricing, right? So I got a black gold on, and then I also got the promo Sanji sleeves, and I think I have them around here somewhere. Whatever, right? And then I also got another event pack. So I got 2 event packs and the all this stuff, right? So when I first got into the event and I realized that I did top 128, that was great. That was a great starting point for myself. And as me being a competitor in this game, I definitely want to get better. I want to reach top 64, top 32, top 16, top 8, whatever, right? Now, day 2, long story short, I get into the event, I play Lucci again, and I go X3. This time, I finished ranked 103, and I went 6-3, obviously. And 6-3 players were able to get into top 64 I think it was like the best 18 top X3s were able to get top 64, and they were able to get this Nami card, which this Nami card is selling for like $400 or $500. And again, I just would love to get the pricing to like sell it, because I really don't care about Nami. I will never play the Nami deck ever. The OP03 Nami I will never play like competitively, never. I built the deck, I absolutely hate it, I hate playing against it, whatever, right? So I almost, like, I look at myself getting X3 and being like, oh wow, like if I had played against better players, I would have gotten top 64 as a starting point for me, right? So I feel confident that I could top 64 in my next event. I also feel really confident that I could probably go top 32, top 16, top 8, second place, and eventually become a champion. And I'm telling you guys that because I want to hold myself accountable, right? Myself, I want to grind the hell out of this game because I absolutely love the community and love like just the atmosphere and all that stuff, right? So in order to get into Sunday's event, this is what I had to do. I had to waitlist for day 2. Now what waitlist means basically is you have to sign up in person in order to sign up for the event. The way it was happening on day 1 is that people made lines at 5 in the morning in front of the venue to try to get into the tournament on Saturday. I was already signed up, so I didn't have to do this. And they waited 3.5 hours in the rain and did not get in. That is so poorly executed because you are not rewarded for being the first people out there, right? So we heard about this, me and my boy Eris heard about this, and we were unsure if we were gonna do this. We wake up at 4:45 in the morning. Mind you, we had literally done the tournament the day before, so we were running on 3 hours of sleep. And essentially, we get up, we get there, the line's about 20 people deep. This is literally the line as we're pulling up, right? This is Eris right here. And we get there and we're like, all right, cool. They say we cannot go into the venue until 6:30 in the morning, and then we have to pass through security. So we pass through security, boom. It's 6:30 in the morning, they let us go, and then we form one big ass line, right? In that big ass line, people try to test like the people in the front, and they're like, oh, we're trying to do 3 lines, blah blah blah. They try to make like 2 separate lines, and it backfired on them because security made them go all the way in the back. Good thing, right? Security was on point day 2, right? So 6:30 in the morning, mind you, at 5, from 5 to I think about 7:30, it was cold and it was raining in Texas. It was fucking raining. So I don't know if you guys can see this, right? But I'm soaked in this hoodie, and like so is everyone else, right? And it's kind of crazy, right? And then like I'll explain more of this along the way, right? But so 5 a.m. get there, raining, cold. We wait all the way up until 7:30, long story short, right? And security is trying to test what the lines are gonna do once they let it, like they release us, right? So they kind of did some like implementations, like if you're like the first 60 to 90 people in the lines. So like they split up our lines eventually into 3 big lines. I got into the front of the second line, so I felt really good and confident about being able to get into the event, right? So they split us up into 3 lines. And essentially, they try to test the line and say, okay, we're gonna let these 90 people pass security, so pass the metal detectors, and go into the venue, right? Security was still in front of us the whole time, and they weren't gonna let us like just run. They kind of like held us in check, held us in line, right? So at 6:30, we're past the security point, and then the people in onepiecetcg, the Bandai organizers, are like, no one's allowed to be into the in any lines until 7:30. So again, 6:30, we're waiting another hour in the rain, in the cold, trying to get into this waitlist line. Security is like trying to do the best they can. Literally, mind you, security was like a 4-person team, and there was just this one little woman, God bless her heart, trying to manage all these grown-ass adults. And like, obviously we can outnumber them, we outsize them, but people don't want to like create chaos, right? So like we were like, all right, we're gonna stay in line, we're gonna stay as instructed because we don't want to ruin our chances and not get into the wait list. So boom, it's like 7:15, 7:20, and we're like, all right, we're almost there. I'm talking to the people to the left of me, I'm talking to the people right of me. Again, we're in 3 lines, and I'm like, yo, let's just be civilized. Let's not like do anything. Let's not do anything crazy once it gets to 7:30. And they're like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. But you know, the people in the back behind us are definitely going to do that because they don't have an advantage. And I'm like, damn, you're 100% right. So I knew in that moment that we were literally like survival of the fittest type shit. And I started stretching out. Literally, like, this meme is literally me. Like, I literally started stretching. I was like, all right, cool. We're going to stretch. We're going to freaking raise, like, do calf raises and all that shit. Because I was like, yo, people are going to start booking it the minute 7:30 comes, right? So 7:28 happens. And the security lady in front of us tells us, you guys don't have to be in a line anymore, just so you know. And people heard that, and they were starting to form, like, this big-ass circle around her. And then she was like, no. I mean, forget what I said. You're going back in line. So she made the 3 lines again. But people were already, like, antsy. They were ready to go. They were ready to pounce, right? So I'm like, oh, shit. We're really about it. Like, oh, shit, here we go again type, right? And we get there, right? It's 7:29. 7:30 hits on the dot. And everyone's just like, yo, can we go? And we're waiting for security to call, or the Bandai onepiecetcg employees to call security and be like, you're clear to go, right? So she's the security person is like, I got the clear, and they're like, you can go. I look to my left, I look to my right, people are walking, and then all of a sudden you see some guy behind us start booking it. I'm like, oh fuck no! And I just start booking it like crazy, bro. Like I started mad dashing, sprinting. So my boy Eris is the one that I came to Dallas with. I also came with my boy Moshe, and he was with me the whole time. He was right behind me, right? The minute the mad dash happened, bro, I fucking lost him in the shuttle, bro. So like we were in the shuffle, right? Shuffle, not the shuttle. I lost him in the shuffle. Oh my god. And I booked it, and I became one of the first 10 people, I think. Like this is the line after the fact. So what? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 10 people, right? Like 10-ish people. I was like number 10 or number 11 in line after that happened, right? And shout out to my boy Dylan, because literally he's there. I didn't even know who he was, but yeah, he was in the line. Like I probably talked to him, and I didn't even introduce myself, but that's basically what it was. It was such a poorly executed wait list, but I don't care. I was super happy because I got into the main event, right? So again, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because as a competitor, that's all I really cared about. There are so many things that Bandai could have done better. There's so many things that onepiecetcg could have done better. But at the end of the day, I was satisfied because I was able to compete. Day one, if I waited for that waitlist and I didn't get selected after doing all the shit that I did, bro, I would have been pissed. And rightfully so. So that's kind of my experience with Dallas. I want to just go over my breakers real quick and like kind of what Dallas looked like. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, feel free to. I'm going to be posting on there a lot more. So this is regional day 2. Where's 1? So day 1, this is me. This is my rounds. I got to buy round 1, and that really didn't feel great because I was like, damn, bro, if I don't have good breakers, then I'm just tucked, right? Round 2, I'm playing Lucci. I played Black Yellow Luffy, and bro, this guy's actually really freaking good. I beat him as a Lucci player with Black Yellow Luffy because I played Zombie Luffy and I played Uta. And I felt really good. I felt really confident into this, right? Then I lose a mirror. I was cooking Dofis for the most part throughout this event. But this part of the event is where I really lost my momentum, which is like going back to back losses. And then I finished off the day with a Dofi win. I feel really confident to Dofi because I play Eris all the time. Eris is a really good Dofi player, so I've learned that matchup pretty well. And yeah, like my opponents were great. I love the experience being a competitor. I never had a problem being a competitor. Like I always played my opponents, we always had a good time, and like it was great. And day 2, these were my matchups. Again, round 1, for whatever reason, I played Uta. Again, not the most competitive deck, but my opponent was a really cool person. Like he was like such a good guy. And unfortunately, I just had to do Lucci shenanigans and did what I had to do. Round 2, I played Dofi. Round 3, I want to talk about my round 3. And I don't know if this is karma. I don't know what it is. But round 3, I played Black Yellow Luffy. He's chatting me up. He's talking about how this is his first regional as well. I tell him this is also my first regional, and we really got like a good connection, good vibe going on, right? So we play. I'm playing it to the best of my ability because again, I had beat a Black Yellow Luffy before, the day before, so I felt good into the matchup. I felt like I knew what I was doing, and there comes a point in the match where I play Sabo, everything's Sabo protected. I swing into his lead, and then he triggers. I miss my crew to KO a 3 or less. I have a 2 cost Uta on the board. He triggers he triggers the effect, and then I'm like, sorry, bro. This is Sabo protected. You cannot KO my Uta. And he's like, oh, can I take it back? And I'm like, no, you triggered it. So I had sharked him, right? And I felt really bad doing that because again, pre-regional first event, I've been there. I'm literally doing the same thing. My first event, right? So I sharked him, right? The second time this happens, right? He plays 5 cost Luffy for 5, I think. And then he activates, oh no, he doesn't play 5 cost Luffy for 5. He plays Hiyori, puts 5 cost Luffy in his life. Then he summons 2 cost Luffy, or baby Luffy, uses ability, right, to take out 5 cost Luffy from his life. And then he activates 5 cost big body Luffy's effect to take a life, draw a card, plus 2k. He activated the effect of 5 cost Luffy at that point. And then after the fact, he decided to put a dice on his leader. At that point, I also could have sharked him and said, you didn't declare the effect of Black Yellow Luffy, therefore you don't get the boost. I decided not to, and I told him right in the moment, I was like, hey, just so you know, you need to declare this leader effect before you activate your 5 cost Luffy's effect, because if not, you miss the timing. And I said, I understand it's your first regional. I don't want to be that guy. And I didn't want to win that way, like truthfully and honestly. And I talked to other content creators after the fact and like other people, and they said, I would have sharked his ass. Cool, great. Like, that's not me, unfortunately. And like, I probably, moving forward, will probably shark people. But I didn't have it in my heart to do it. So I didn't. And I feel like I was rewarded for that in the rest of my bracket, honestly. And yeah, it is what it is. But again, this round 3 kind of snowballed into round 4, and I got back-to-back losses. So that probably hurt my ranking pretty bad, right? Round 5, I see a Kagara. I like, great guy. He was a really cool guy, but honestly, just no match. Bonnie, I saw. Bonnie's honestly one of my best matchups. Dofi, again, I feel pretty confident about. And then round 8, I got into Dofi. I feel really good about it. I had 2 Morios on board. I had Jack on board. But I had also a house of bricks in my hand. Like, I had Jack, Tempest, Ice Age, Uta, not Uta, something else. But I just had 7 bricks in my hand, and he was able to bounce law my Rebecca. And then after that, it was just wraps. He like got me for game. And yeah, it is what it is. So round 8, it felt really deflating because I was X2 going into round 8, and I was like, yo, if I finish the rest of my matchups the way I've been working so far, I can easily top 64. So that's why I feel like I'm confident to get into that next level. And then round 9, I finally see a Bonnie, and I shit you not, bro. Round 9 comes, and I'm like, bro, as long as it's not Black Yellow Luffy, I'm good. God bless me. Like, hopefully, like, I see something. I talked to my round 9 opponent, and he's just like, what are you playing? And I was just like, I show him Lucci. He's like, oh, this is just the one deck I don't want to see. And I'm like, hey, what do you mean? And like, I thought he was gonna pull some, like, I don't know, some random shit. And then he pulls Bonnie, and I'm like, oh, God bless, because Bonnie's like the easiest matchup for Lucci if you know what you're doing. I think my starting hand had 2 Ice Ages, and I kept them the whole time until like I needed to pop his like Kid and his Dofi, and it was drops from there, right? So again, my tiebreakers were unfortunately not the best, but I did get another top 128, right? And again, this is my floor. This is not my ceiling. This is my floor for a pre-regional competition. So I am hoping to get comped, and yeah, just explore that space because I really enjoyed being there. If you are in the One Piece community and you want to get to know me, like, this is what I look like. I got to meet Eggman, which is really fucking cool. He's a cool guy, really great. We were talking about my matchups and stuff, and great guy, right? If you want to follow me on Twitter, feel free. But that's basically it. That's my One Piece Dallas experience. Again, I, as a competitor, loved everything about Dallas and One Piece Day. And maybe that's not your experience, and that's totally fine. I appreciate any comments in the comment section down below how your experience went. I would love to hear the input. But for me, as a competitor, I loved it. It was a great time for me. And yeah, that's basically it. If you guys want to interact down there, feel free to comment down below. Or if not, like this video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.